Hey friends, Sean from SGT Report here with just a quick update and special thanks to my patrons. You're making a world of difference for me and my little team. So now just a quick note to Team YouTube about immediately labeling every interview and video I post as not suitable for most advertisers. The country is clearly divided, which was abundantly clear Tuesday night during the President's State of the Union address when the Democrats couldn't stand and applaud one single thing that was good for America. They couldn't even applaud for the news of human traffickers being arrested.
And more than 1,500 sadistic traffickers have been put behind bars.
And while, according to a CBS News poll, 76% of Americans approved of what they heard in President Trump's State of the Union speech, I would ask the manual reviewers who watch the videos I post to put their personal political bias aside and understand that at least half of the country is as concerned about the radical left and their anti-human, anti-freedom agenda as I am. And these tens of millions of Americans are perfectly suited to viewing an ad once in a while because they own homes and cars and they need insurance and they have kids and they go to movies and they drink beer and they even go on vacations, just like leftist liberals. Although I should say hardcore leftist liberals probably don't have kids because they've been too busy aborting them. But these people that watch my videos also happen to respect and love the Constitution. Unlike the lefties, I would think advertisers could find some common ground with an audience like mine. And by the way, YouTube, my last 3 videos, which you labeled not suitable for most advertisers, were very much appreciated by my informed and kind audience. With the video Andrew Breitbart, the man who knew too much, getting 7.9 thousand likes versus only 56 dislikes, and The Devil Incarnate about the plight of human trafficking and the baby farms run by John of God, 14,000 likes and only 205 dislikes. And my latest interview with historian Harley Schlanger, Their Satanic Worldview Exposed, 9.3 thousand likes and only 118 dislikes. It's extremely hard to believe that advertisers don't want access to informed audiences like mine. Why? Do these advertisers object to content that's pro-life, pro-constitution, and content that stands against the evils of the globalists' agenda?
Forget about the establishment, forget about the detractors in the fake news media. The real people out there in the United Kingdom, we love you, Mr. President!
No, it's never been more clear that this is a radical move to silence speech that is contrary to the views held by Silicon Valley tech titans. YouTube, like Twitter and Facebook, and its parent company Google, is being revealed as the fascist Big Brother Orwellian organization it has now become. And with that said, dear YouTube manual reviewer, we'll move on to some real news as the Democrats showed their true colors Tuesday night. And as I tweeted on Tuesday night while I was watching the State of the Union address, these people really must hate America. They hate the unborn. They hate border security. They hate it when you keep what you earn. They hate your children and will push to make vaccinations mandatory. They hate your right to arm yourself, and they hate your right to free speech. They hate America. But judging by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal, they are economically illiterate and completely insane to boot. Now, proposed in her completely unhinged globalist screed written at the intellectual level of an 8th grader with special needs is the following. This crazed liberal wants to upgrade or replace every building in the United States for state-of-the-art energy efficiency. You can't make this up. She's crazy. Her Green New Deal is a 10-year plan to mobilize every aspect of American society at a scale not seen since World War II to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions. She also wants to decommission every nuclear power plant within 10 years and transition away from all fossil fuels as soon as possible. She wants to build out high-speed rail from coast to coast, north to south, at such a scale that air travel becomes unnecessary. This madwoman wants to ensure that all Green New Deal jobs are union jobs that pay prevailing wages and hire local. We'll come back to that in a minute. And of course, like a good globalist, she's not ruling out a carbon tax and says cap and trade may be a tiny part of the larger Green New Deal plan. Now, this is rich. She's not sure what all of this madness will cost, but does provide one estimate that the cost to repair and upgrade infrastructure in the United States alone will cost $4.6 trillion at a minimum. And before we go further, let's take a look at this tweet from Donald Trump Jr., who says, well, that's obviously going to pay for itself. My 4-year-old could put together a more viable plan than this. And that's in reply to this tweet. Ocasio-Cortez's garbage Green New Deal proposal wants to guarantee economic security for those who are unwilling to work. You heard that right, folks. The clearly out of her mind Cortez wants to build on FDR's second Bill of Rights by guaranteeing, jumping down to the bottom, economic security for all who are unable or unwilling to work. And scrolling through her bill, getting to the bottom is really where the humor is. And here is the frequently asked questions section from Ocasio-Cortez's office about the Green New Deal. She cites the IPCC data saying that global emissions must be curbed. She wants our emissions in the United States to get to zero by 2030, which, as I've explained time and time again, friends, this is the Rothschild globalists' goal, to reduce greenhouse emissions to zero, thereby leaving us all living as serfs in abject poverty. And here's the best part. How will you pay for it? Cortez says the same way we paid for the New Deal, the 2008 bank bailout, and extended quantitative easing programs, the same way we paid for World War II and all our current wars. Here it comes, folks. The Federal Reserve, she says, can extend credit to power these projects and investments, and new public banks can be created to extend credit. That's debt. Those are loans. She does not even understand that credit from the privately owned Federal Reserve loaned to the government for such extravagances will result in unrepayable debt when the interest payments alone on the current $22 trillion in U.S. debt almost exceeds total defense spending today. This abject imbecile goes on to say, there is also space for the government to take an equity stake in projects to get a return on investment. At the end of the day, this is an investment in our economy that should grow our wealth as a nation. So the question isn't how we will pay for it, but what we will do with our new shared prosperity. This ridiculous proposal is at best written at an 8th grade level. And friends, I will leave you with this. It's from a man who actually stands for children and families, a man who wants to put an end to human trafficking and child trafficking, Representative Steve Scalise, who yesterday introduced a resolution that will force every single Democrat to go on record and reveal to the American people whether or not they support infanticide. It's simple. You're either willing to accept born-alive babies being killed, or you're not.
Yes, and what the president was talking about yesterday was these laws in New York and Virginia where literally when a baby is born alive, that they still can kill the baby. That's not abortion, that's murder. I don't understand how anybody can say if a baby is born alive, you can still kill the baby. We have a bill Ann Wagner moved that I'm a co-sponsor of that was filed yesterday that said you can't in America kill a baby after it's born. I don't even know why we need to pass that law, but right now they're able to do it. And in New York and Virginia, they're trying to do it. We need to stop that. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, you should agree. If a baby is born alive, nobody should have the right to take that life away. And so I'm going to be moving a discharge petition on that so that we can force a vote on the floor and hopefully pass it. The president talked about it last night, and I applaud President Trump for touching on this important issue.
Everybody's got to go on record with a yes or no, don't they?
Everybody ought to be on record, and frankly, everybody ought to be for this. Again, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, how can you say that if a baby is born alive, that you can then still take the life of that baby?
Friends, it's really astounding that this is the point to which we've come in the United States, that the unhinged, radical, godless left is so far gone that Scalise would need to work to force a vote on the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Bill. We are truly living in the twilight zone, but the good news is 76% of the citizens of the United States who listened to the State of the Union address agreed with our president, and standing in stark contrast to his common sense, pro-American, pro-sovereignty, anti-globalist talking points was the enemy who refused to applaud one single good thing about America on Tuesday night. And with that, I'll say goodbye. And goodbye, too, to Manual Reviewer over at YouTube, who, if intellectually honest, will have a very difficult time explaining how a video like this one is not suitable to most advertisers. Thanks for watching, and for real news 24/7, visit us at sgtreport.com. God bless.
So this guy has been arrested for running a child sex slave farm. This guy became famous and was good friends with people like Bill Clinton, Naomi Campbell, and Oprah. He was selling babies on his child sex slave farm. There has been over 600 allegations of sexual assault against this man. Think about that number, 600, including from his own daughter.